Mr. Peterson, don't unmute yourself. I'm just letting you know that your attorney, Mr. Malloy, just stepped out to call your cell. When your cell phone rings in a second, you need to answer it. If you need to remove yourself from this system to take that call, you should do that. All right, here we go. So, if you'll look up, I can't get that one to turn on today, so just look over here. So, this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker. I'm the judge. This is the probation and non-jury calendar. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each and every one of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Hey, don't talk during court. Our goal is to move your cases forward, return you frankly to your lines as soon as we can. I cannot do that if y'all are having sidebar conversations, and frankly, I won't have much patience for it. I do have one person virtual. I was supposed to have three. So for the virtual people, if you've received permission to appear virtually, go get a pen and a piece of paper to write down the information on your case. Listen for your name, follow my directions. And just so you know, you can't unmute yourself until I call on you. All right, cell phones. Everybody right now, take out your phone from wherever you have stashed it and turn it off. So turn it off, because if it rings after this, it means you didn't turn it off. It means you ignored me, and then I have to have a contempt hearing, which will end badly for one of us, and it won't be me. So don't volunteer for that. I don't want to waste time with a contempt hearing, and I assure you, you don't want me taking time to do that. This is the correct courtroom for you if you're on probation with Spalding County State Court. You're supervised by the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Team, and they filed paperwork to have you come here today, or you have some other motion that you need me to hear, or you have a bench warrant and you're walking in. This is not the correct courtroom for you if you received a citation from the City of Griffin Police Department and you're supposed to be next door in the City of Griffin. Is there anyone here who received a citation and you're here for traffic court? You're my hero, Piper. How'd you do that?
It came on when I first got here, when I turned everything on, so I don't know why it went off, but I guess
Wow.
it's connection.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you for fixing that. All right, anybody here got a ticket from the Griffin Police and you're here for your traffic ticket? Okay, good. Or you're supposed to be, is there a Superior Court going on today at all?
No, you're the only thing going.
Fantastic. Okay. Janet Harmon Bragg. So this is an issue that I'm having to address now, which is that when you report to the Sentence Enforcement Team, as you're well aware, you're reporting to the basement of the old post office. I have a major problem with the businesses calling me, telling me that my tribe are parking in their parking spots, are parking in no parking, and are otherwise causing lots of disruption for their customers and clients. So here's the deal. When you went on probation with us, you agreed that you would park in the Janet Harmon Bragg parking lot, which is catty-cornered to the old post office, to the Sentence Enforcement Office. So here's the deal. If you park somewhere and then you report to probation and you can't see Fly Janet Fly, a warrant is going to follow you home, because I don't know how else to fix this. And I've been talking for 6 months and it's made no difference, but warrants tend to get people's attention. So if the next time you report to the probation office, turn to the person on either side of you and say to them, hey, where did you park today? And if they say, I parked somewhere other than Janet Bragg parking lot, you should have them go move their car. You'll save them a warrant and they'll probably be grateful. So my goal is to stop issuing warrants and get y'all to park where you're supposed to, where you said you would. So do yourselves a favor, park there, and ask the person in the lobby next to you on either side if they park there as well. I'm about to call the calendar. When you hear your name called, stand up. And if you do not have an attorney, answer very loudly. And you're going to either say probation, if you're a probation matter, or a bench warrant walk-in, some sort of license permit, a motion, or whatnot. All right, let's call the calendar. All right, first case I show on the calendar is Baker. Esmond Baker. All right, thank you. If you'll just grab a seat, we'll come back to you. All right, Gloriana Barkley. All right, thank you. Porter Bethune.
That case is off, Judge.
Wonderful. Kenneth Brown. Kenneth Brown? No?
Is that probation?
Yes.
Request for a probation warrant tolling?
Granted. Brown's warrant is issued, the probation is told. Latanya Bryant? Bryant? No?
That's for probation warrant tolling.
Granted. Okay. Bryant's warrant is issued and the probation is told. Ronald Combs. All right, thank you. Antoine Davis. All right, thank you.
Is he all?
Bianca Duncan.
That case is off, Judge.
Wonderful. All right, Jadarius Head.
That case is off, Judge.
Great job. Henrietta Hurd. Okay.
Judge, that's a show cause.
Got it.
She's already in non-report, you said.
That's correct.
Okay. Stephanie Johnson. I'm so sorry. No, I'm so sorry. I skipped someone. Sorry. Draylon Holland. Draylon Holland. On the second case. Was that the one? Is Draylon Holland present? Because we emailed with Mr. Diamond about this one. I think I moved this one to, oh, I know what happened. So, yeah, we do need to put this on the record. So on Draylon Holland, I've removed him from the pretrial diversion program, but I said that I need to do a bond revocation hearing or he needs to have a conference with the solicitor's office. Mr. Diamond does. We scheduled it. Mr. Diamond had a conflict. We rescheduled it. Mr. Diamond had a conflict. I think this is the third time I've rescheduled it. So what I said was I was only holding back on the bond revocation hearing as a courtesy to Mr. Diamond. I don't owe him for his client to be out. So what I said was, I said, Mr. Diamond, I'm gonna remove it to the 13th, I think. But that's the last movement I'm gonna do. If we're not able to resolve it to that point, I'm gonna issue the warrant and then we can always sort it out later. So I'm sorry that Mr. Diamond is busy, but it's not, he's not using it that way, but the incidental cause of his conflicts are that his client, because I was extending a courtesy, is not being properly incarcerated the way that he should be. So, do you need anything else on that?
So we're moving that to 7/13?
I believe so.
I don't know if that's the right case, Judge. I think that's Oliver.
Is that Oliver?
I think,
Yeah, there was two of them with Larry, that's
He's
why.
got two.
but yeah, I don't think it's this case, Judge. There was a couple of resets and Odyssey on this one, and I don't show him being pretrial.
Okay, then that must be Oliver. Okay, well then, everything I said is correct, except the defendant. Oliver, is Oliver here? Okay, that's correct. So, but you're right, Draylon Holland. Okay, now I have no memory of Draylon Holland, but you,
There's a couple resets in there that they did for Mr. Holland on that top case.
on 22 SR 1958.
Yes, sir.
I have no earthly idea why it's on this calendar.
Yeah, there was a hearing before that one, and then they sent that notice there to Mr. Diamond.
Well,
Yeah.
the only thing left the only thing I show is that Holland is on the trial calendar, but I added it to today for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one, Judge.
Yeah.
I'm glad to look on my calendar.
Yeah, we're gonna-
Last time.
We're gonna have to. I'm more confused than I started, so. Okay, the last thing I show was that Holland was supposed to be on the trial calendar for June 12th for calendar call, and then June 24th for trial. But then I have a note for him to appear today, so we'll figure it out. I'm gonna recall this on Monday. I'm gonna print this notice. And on Monday, when I call this calendar, I'm just gonna recall it because that's the official date that's in here, but I don't remember it's supposed to be on for Monday. I don't show it on my calendar and I have no memory of it supposed to be there, and y'all have the same, y'all don't have anybody, like this isn't on your radar for Monday. Yeah, so
And he's not on June 12th trial calendar.
it's not often we end up with one where we can't figure out what the status is. But frankly, Mr. Diamond's cases are hard to pin down because he has so many conflicts that we're always having to move his stuff around. So, but at the same time, we're usually able to keep a good eye on him.
I'll check my emails.
And I'll follow up on that Oliver case as well, Judge, to see where we're at with that.
Okay.
That is your pre-trial.
Yeah. So,
I don't know if it's been reset.
Yeah, I don't have any, I was just checking my email. I don't have anything from Mr. Diamond
okay.
related to this.
Well, I have two notices. One that was emailed to him that says the 24th, and then one that we emailed the next day, bringing him in on the 20th. So, and again, my inclination is to move it to the 13th and then just see everything on the 13th, since I don't know.
That's right. It's
Okay.
not on the, we didn't have it on the trial calendar, so we would not have subpoenaed witnesses. I don't think we're ready.
And I keep saying the 13th, but it's, maybe it's the 11th. It's the 11th. I'm so sorry. So, hey Carly, let's move Draylon Holland to July 11th. Let's email Mr. Diamond. He's already supposed to be here for his other client, Oliver, unless he can get that sorted out, I guess. And so that's the safest course of action for me to take unless someone has another suggestion. Again, it's not often that we all look at each other and go, I don't know.
Yeah, that's-
Actually, it's never. Let me just rephrase that. It's never. So this is why this one's got me confused.
Lucas sent an email to Larry Diamond on May 9th with the court scheduling order for today,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know why.
Yeah. And then I moved the other one to July 11th, and I think maybe he just grabbed this one and moved it with it. So,
We'll sort it out.
okay. Draylon Holland goes to July 11th with Oliver. Stephanie Johnson.
Probation.
All right. Thank you. Joel Jones. Thank you. Landra Matthews.
Probation.
Thank you. All right. Jerome Maxey. Actually, I don't have that in my pile.
I think I have them alphabetically out of order, Judge. I continue to do that. I kept putting Medina first.
That is the probation.
That's correct, yes. I apologize if I've got it.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
So that's for probation and colon.
Granted.
Just for the record, he already has a warrant. We were just trying to toll it.
Okay, so the warrant is granted, except at this point, that'll make it officially tolled instead of a running warrant.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Having not appeared in court, the warrant is issued and the probation is tolled. All right, Tammy Medina. All right, you're here.
Probation.
All right, perfect, thank you. Got it. All right, Mr. Mikey is here. Is he y'all's? Okay. All right.
He was pro se up until this point.
Okay, Mr. Mikey, we'll deal with your case in just a minute. I'm going to need to put the procedural history of that on the record because it's got a lot of steps to it. Caleb Moss.
Probation.
Thank you. Alice Newman, are you here? All right, Ms. Newman is here. That's the state's motion to revoke, not the bond necessarily, but the bond condition of the license. Okay. Okay. Jasmine Terrell. Thank you. And then Raymond Thrash.
The case is off, Judge.
Off. Excellent. Okay. All right, Mr. Shepherd, which cases specifically are you here on?
For Jones, Matthews, Medina, Mikey, Newman, quite a few of them.
Okay.
We'll just stick
I was
with-
about to say, looks like we're going to spend the morning together.
We'll be.
The good news for y'all is that I have, court comes first and we'll stay on the bench until we're done, but I do have a training session scheduled at 11. So it's just virtual. So if I can make it to that, great. But the good news is that'll get us all out of here a little earlier, maybe. So, all right. Do you have a preference, Mr. Shepherd, as to what order I handle these matters?
That's the judge.
All right, then let's get y'all on out of here. Tell me what you need, what you have and what you need.
Judge, if there's any way we can do Mikey,
Yeah, because he's theirs.
I had two over at municipal that I gotta go get whenever they call.
Okay, great. So he's y'all's. So Mr. Malloy, just let me know what you need. Yeah, y'all coming up. Let's go for it.
Do you want me to draft this, or you want to wait to put this on the record before?
Go ahead and draft it, and I'll just read that off and that's what I want on the record.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Peterson? Give me just a second. I'm going to put you so that, there we go. Mr. Peterson, I've sent you an unmute request. If you'll approve that, please. Great job. All right. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. And your audio is nice and clear. All right. Are you Cornell Peterson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Peterson, I am holding in my hands here a pretrial intervention agreement, meaning instead of you being prosecuted and going to trial or entering a guilty plea, they're letting you move your case over through your attorney, Mr. Malloy, who's here in the courtroom with our pretrial intervention program. Are you with me so far?
Yes, attorney.
Okay. The terms of which are that you will move over and be supervised by the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Team. The entire period is for 12 months, but follow me to the end on that. There's a $500 fee. I am going to put restitution of $50 for the public defenders. So $50 in restitution to the Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. $25 intake fee, $5 and $5 technology fee. No contact with Walmart. And then one condition got added after you talked, but it's in your favor. So we figured it was okay, which is terminate upon completion. So your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations.
Okay.
So I need you to, you just want me to have him call tomorrow morning between 9 and noon?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Peterson, when we hang up, I want you to go to spaldingcounty.com and I want you to navigate to the sentence enforcement page. If you end up on the state court page, there's a link to the sentence enforcement page, and you're going to call their number tomorrow morning. That would be June 21st, 2024, and you're going to call between 9 a.m. and noon.
Okay.
If you don't get anybody, leave a detailed message, and someone will call you back with instructions as to how this is going to work.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
Can you repeat the website again?
Yes, the terms are 12 months in our pretrial intervention program, but it is terminate upon completion. So you may close it the moment you've completed your obligations. I'm not going to give you the total on this, but I can give you the pieces. $500 court fee, $50 in restitution to offset the cost of your attorney, $60 per month supervision fee, and then a $35 one-time add-on on your case. No contact with Walmart, and you're to call the Sentence Enforcement Office tomorrow, June 21st, between 9 a.m. and noon, and you'll get the information for calling from spaldingcounty.com on the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement page.
Okay.
All right.
Spalding County Sentence Enforcement page.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me?
Would any email be sent to me?
Yes, that's the call is just to start that process. Get all the lines of communication open. So you'll
Okay.
give them your email address and all that tomorrow when you call.
All right.
And of course, you'll need to sign this document. You would normally sign it here in the courtroom, but you're not here. And so are you wanting me to move you over into this program?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I'm going to put that you're virtual, but that you will sign it when you report. Do you live here in the area or out of the state?
I'm out of state.
Okay. So they'll email you documents for you to sign and email back.
Okay.
So that'll be okay. We do that all the time.
All right. No problem. Thank you.
Okay. And do you want me to get anything else? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Peterson. You may remove yourself from the virtual system. And this was on Monday's calendar. His case was on Monday's calendar. All right. Thank you, Mr. Peterson.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. You ready on Timson?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Timson, you may come up to the podium. And for record purposes, Mr. Cornell Peterson was on Monday's arraignment calendar on page 8, right in the middle. And he had some technical difficulties and couldn't get logged in. The warrant is lifted. All right, Mr. Tennyson, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Take your hand down, state your full name for me.
That's Tennyson Mikey.
All right, I'm sorry, I swapped those, Mr. Mikey, I apologize.
It's all right.
Mr. Mikey, you were here on 22 SR 0413. You're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Malloy with the Jukes Law Firm. Have you had enough time to speak with him about your case?
I have.
And are you satisfied with the job he's done on your behalf?
I am.
Mr. Mikey, I'm going to put just a little bit of your procedural history because it's just important for how you ended up incarcerated, which is that you have this case here. This case has an instant date of, well, my computer's thinking, give me just a second. There we go. This case has an incident date, according to the accusation, which was filed on March 10th of 2022, with an incident date back on February 11th of 2022. On this case, you had a trial on May 15th of 2023. It was a bench trial, and you were found guilty. I was not the presiding judge over that. It was one of the associate judges. Judge Thompson, Judge Alicia Thompson came in and handled that matter for me. You timely filed a notice of appeal,
Yes, sir.
which the court took note of, and everything was in proper form for your notice of appeal, which was filed on June 7th of 2023. However, you took no additional action, to our knowledge, did not request a transcript.
Your Honor.
And so what we finally did was, I believe I scheduled it for a hearing. No, I ordered it to be invoiced to you without a transcript. At the same time, the sentence enforcement team was trying to reach out to you. My memory of a court date is that I remember them asking you to come talk to them and you saying no. That's all I remember the testimony being at that hearing. I ordered you to appear before me on January 25th of 2024. So now we're 6 months into the process, to either prosecute your appeal or I was going to dismiss it. You were notified by mail of this. You failed to appear, and therefore I ordered your appeal dismissed. And then I ordered that you appear and begin your sentence. I ordered that you appear on January 25th, so that the order was on January 8th. So January 8th, the order was issued. You were ordered to appear on January 25th, so 2 court dates you didn't show. And then once your probation was reinstated, was to be reinstated, you weren't there that day, I issued a warrant. And then we ended up here. I think I got that right. Ms. Matthews, Director Matthews, did I miss anything there?
No, sir, that's procedurally sounds like
Okay.
the process we follow.
All right, so you're here, you're incarcerated, you're desperately wanting to speak. I'm going to let you talk to Mr. Malloy first, and if he determines that whatever it is you would like to say is that important, I'll let him make that decision. You can talk to your attorney.
SR 1987. The defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. And Judge, for the record, this is a first offender case.
Okay.
The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 2 of 14 scheduled appointments. The defendants failed to complete the community service hours as directed, having turned in 111 of the 151 converted hours. The defendant did test positive for marijuana on or about May 16, 2024 at the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Office. Judge, when myself and the solicitor were preparing for this case, Mr. Shepard noticed that Ms. Matthews has obtained new charges and did not notify the probation office of these new charges. I have a recommendation today prepared to address the new charges if Ms. Matthews chooses to move forward.
All right, so Ms. Matthews, so I have Director Matthews and Ms. Matthews. Ms. Matthews, what Director Matthews is saying out loud is that you apparently have new charges pending. If you wish, you have the right to have a hearing on whether or not those new charges should impact your probation. So do you understand that you have the right to have a hearing, a separate hearing, in addition to this hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What Director Matthews is saying is that if you want to go ahead and package the whole thing up, and I have no idea what they're about to say, but they're offering to package the whole thing up and deal with all of it today. Or we can break it out into 2 pieces. So do you understand that that's the offer? You can package it up today and not have to come back for another hearing. But you're the driver, you're the decider of that question, not me. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to deal with them separately or together?
Together.
Okay, go ahead.
Judge, while addressing the new charges, there is 4 different incidences of a theft by taking that occurred back in May of 2023. The warrants were taken in June of 2023 during the transition of JAG to Spalding County Sentence Enforcement. So the recommendation would be to revoke the first offender on 21 SR 1987, 72 weekends in jail, payments of $29 biweekly, community service at 8 hours a week, substance abuse evaluation with 30 days and follow any recommendation, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. Her next report date would be in person on June 26th between the hours of 1 and 5.
All right. And I missed it. I was trying to keep up. How many weekends in jail?
72.
So 72 weekends as in through the next year and change.
Yes, and in lieu of asking to revoke the case, the solicitor is willing to allow her to do 72 weekends.
Okay.
Judge, you didn't report this new arrest at probation. Now, it fell through the cracks because it was during the transition from JAG to sentence enforcement. But Ms. Matthews still had an obligation to report. She had an obligation to report any interaction with law enforcement and probation. She failed to do that. Now, this recommendation does not take care of the new case, which is 23 SR 1042. She's still going to have to deal with the ramifications of that case, but just making we're clear that this recommendation is just covering the allegations on the petition plus allegations of revocation on the new charges, but it's not going to resolve the new case.
Okay. So Ms. Matthews, any questions on the recommendation that's on the table?
No, sir.
And what the state said is a true statement, which is that anytime you're on probation with this court and you receive new charges, especially if they're of the same vein, like a DUI and you get a new DUI, my starting position is normally somewhere in the ballpark of just revoke the balance of the first case. The state is stepping between you and me, and the state is offering you less than what I would do at my standard. You're welcome to reject that. You're welcome to accept that. I have no preference. What do you want to do? Do you want to admit to the violations and accept the recommendation, or do you want to reject that?
I accept it.
Okay, I agree. I'm also going to arraign you on the new case, Ms. Evans, and let's place her down on the trial calendar on 23 SR 1042. There's no arraignment date currently set. I'm going to go ahead and call today, June 20th, your arraignment date. If you wish to fill out an application with the Public Defender's Office, Ms. Porter can give you directions on whether she wants you to come to the office or whatnot, and see about having them represent you on the new case if you would like that. And again, I don't know what happened, but you did have an obligation to do that. And I just want you to know that I have a warrant for your arrest unsigned up here that I was ready to sign that I am not going to be signing. And so I'm going to let you do that. I have torn this up. You're going to be arraigned on it. You're going to accept that. You're going to talk to Ms. Porter, and we're going to get this sorted out, okay? We're going to figure our way through this, and we're going to do this with you out and free, and we're going to get you back on the right track, okay? All right, so this is going in the trash, and you do what you need to do next, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Arraigning you not guilty, bail shall have you sign a reset notice. Talk to Ms. Porter before you leave. All right, so if you will wait out in the hallway, do not leave until you've signed you go that way ever since that idiot jumped over the bench.
On the record, do you want to address the first offender?
Yeah, well, I just said I was going to accept the
Okay, yes,
recommendation.
sir.
So,
Just wanted to be clear.
don't leave, just wait out in the hallway until everybody's come and spoken to you and says you're free to go. All right, good luck to you, ma'am. All right, Piper, so you don't have to worry about that one.
Yes, sir.
So
We're
you
good to
just
go.
have Mr. Mikey, and then I just have the walk-ins next. Okay. All right, Mr. Mikey, come on back up. Let's finish up with yours. I think we were almost done, but he had oh no, we just had the paper. You were just signing paperwork.
Yes, sir.
I'm so
We did
sorry.
that. We-
Did you need anything else from
No,
me?
Your Honor, I think
Okay.
we're straight.
All right.
He's in the hands of Deputy Piper now.
Okay.
He's ready to go.
Mr. Mikey, I didn't need to see you. I just realized you were filling out paperwork, and I got turned around. So, all right, thank you very much. Deputy Pipe is going to take care of you. I think he's got to get on out the door.
No, sir, I'm just waiting for municipal to call, then somebody will.
Well, as soon as they call, nudge me, and I'll step off the bench a minute.
All right.
Hopefully, they'll call it 10:59, and then I'll all line up with my training. Okay. All right, Mr. Malloy, what else do you need?
We have Ms. Medina and Ms. Newman to deal with, Judge, but I do have one walk-in that I had not had a chance to speak
Okay.
to. So if the court wants to do another pro se, I can get a chance to speak with.
Okay, well, let's knock one of yours out and then let you go talk to him. So you want to do Medina or Newman? No
Let's
problem.
do Medina, Judge.
Okay.
That'll be-
Tammy Medina, we'll handle that, then you can go talk. All right, here's Matthews. And then Carly should have a reset notice. And Ms. Medina, you are welcome to stand or sit as you prefer. We are fully set up to assist you in whatever you need for us physically. All right, Ms. Medina, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, please state your full name for me.
Tammy Million.
All right, and Ms. Medina, you are here today on 21 SR 0263, and you are here with your attorney, Mr. Malloy, from the Jukes Law Firm. Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney about your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job Mr. Malloy's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Medina, you're here on 21 SR 0263, and you're here today because your sentence enforcement supervisor has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
And you, are you ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Malloy, are y'all ready?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Do you wish to put anything on the record before Director Matthews puts her part on the record?
I'll wait to hear what she has to say.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, floor's yours.
All right, Judge, on 21 SR 0263, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $970 as of the date the petition was drafted. The defendant failed to complete community service hours as directed at a rate of 10 hours per week, turning in 6 hours and 45 minutes of the 240 court-ordered hours. Judge, on this case, due to the limited time and the defendant's current situation, I defer sentencing to the courts because I do not believe that Ms. Medina can complete the remaining conditions in the amount of time.
Okay. All right, Mr. Malloy, what's your position on this?
Well, Your Honor, it's simply put, like Ms. Matthews says, there's such little time left on this. Ms. Medina in my conversation with her, realizes that she could have done better. She did some things, but I do want the court to know that because of the charge, the one thing she had to do was get her license reinstated. She's actually done that, Judge. The court knows all the steps that's required for that to occur. So to say there's been no effort is not an accurate statement. To say maybe there's maybe not enough effort, maybe a more way of putting it. And then, as you can see, Ms. Medina has some limitations physically. I actually have a long list of
I'm a
things
doctor.
she can't do, according to one of her doctors. There's at least 10 items here of things she can't do as far as bend, stoop, walk up, downstairs, stand for more than an hour, walk a mile, walk 2 blocks, make a sharp right turn. It's just, she has quite a few physical limitations.
So could she come sit in here with me and do hours in here? If we gave her one of the comfortable seats in the back?
I would do that.
Okay.
Judge, the reason I haven't, just for the court's knowledge, based off the letter that I finally received last Thursday, I've been asking for medical documentation for several months. In that letter, it states she can't sit longer than 2 hours. And so that's one of the reasons I did not choose. And again, I got that letter late Thursday. The other thing is the community service would have to be done at a rate of 24 hours a week at minimum, just to complete the remaining court-ordered hours. That doesn't address a conversion or anything like that.
I know. I'm doing the math on that too, the same as you. Well, all right, anything, I've got a solution that's not going to make anybody happy.
Yes, Judge.
It's going to make everybody equally unhappy, but I have an idea here. So, and it doesn't involve jail time, so I'm being creative here. Mr. Malloy, anything else?
No, Your Honor. I think the court has a
I've
good
done-
idea of the situation.
Okay.
I've done my,
Talk to your attorney first. Okay. Mr. Shepherd, obviously, do you want,
I was, Judge, I'm gonna point out, this is the second revocation on this case,
yeah,
and not her first DUI. I think this is at least her second in 10.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe third in 10, but I don't have a record.
well, these next 130 days are going to be pretty tough for Miss Medina, but I'm crafting one that I think she can do. So for record purposes, she's not wheelchair bound, she's walker bound. Her walker has a seat on it as well as the ability to stand. So here's my solution to this. I'm going to go ahead and convert all the remaining fine to community service work. I'm aware that that puts the total number out of her reach. And then I'm just going to simply say that every time I'm on the bench, she's going to be here. And I will give her a spot that she can claim as hers, back in the corner there where she can sit in one of the comfortable chairs. She can have her walker. So if she needs to stand, she can stand and use the walker. And I'm not going to put, we all know how many hours we're all in here every week, which is a bunch. So, but it's random. And so, and I can't move this because of what's needed to the Superior Court because she needs space to move. So I'm just going to simply say, when I'm on the bench, if I look out and she's not in that back corner, I'm going to issue a warrant for her arrest. So it's just as simple as that. So plan your doctor's appointments around me. And you and I are going to do this over the next several months. That's the best I got. That's the best bet I got.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
That's why I deferred.
Yeah, so,
Your Honor, she did have one question. The question she had was, if the court's not on the bench, can she do it in another courtroom to get more hours?
so the short answer is that's normally the case, yes. I just was very hesitant to put you in a Superior Court courtroom, given the space needs you need, the fact that those are often crowded, very crowded courtrooms. The bailiffs are nodding yes at me. And you're going to need to be able to sit, stand, move. So the short answer is yes, that's what I would prefer. I just was very hesitant, given what you need, to do that. So yes, I would prefer that. But I would like to talk a little bit more to the bailiffs about what that might look like and to Director Matthews. But yes, that's normally a requirement. Because that would give her the ability to get more hours in. Because Superior Court, obviously there's 5 of them, so there's a lot more opportunities to get your hours done. So, How about this? Let's just say yes, and we'll try it. And if it doesn't work, I won't punish you for that. If it doesn't work. Mr. Malloy, how about that?
That'll work.
Okay. So, and obviously the bailiffs will recognize you pretty quick. They'll be able to assist you. And if it doesn't work, we'll try something else. So, obviously that gives you a total of potentially 40 hours a week that could work. And Superior Court often runs late, so you might get more. So, we don't run late, but they do. Okay. Go back. Okay, Mr. Malloy, if you'll go talk to whoever you have next, and I'll do some walk-ins.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss-
you, Ms. Matthews.
All right, Ms. Medina, go get this thing done and, oh, and zero tolerance.
I have put it on.
Yeah, that's on there. That was the backstop. I forgot to say that was there, that it's, the whole rest of it's zero tolerance.
Jones or Hurd?
Do you have anything that doesn't have,
Jones or Hurd?
all right? You wanna do that? Okay, Jones? Joel Jones?
Which one?
Jones.
Come on up, Mr. Jones.
490.
All right, Mr. Jones, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir, very much.
All right, state your full name for me.
Joel Bryant Jones.
Okay. Mr. Jones, you're here today because your supervisor at Sentence Enforcement Office has filed paperwork alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today? You understand that that's a question I'm here to answer, whether or not you're out of compliance?
I read the paper and that ain't what you said, but
Well, what it says very technically is that you failed to provide a valid sample for testing by providing a diluted specimen on May 29th, 2024. That's exactly what it says. Do you
I very
understand that?
much disagree with that.
Do what?
I very much disagree with that.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to put down that that is a denial. That will require a full-scale hearing.
I wouldn't never do anything like that. I don't even know how I would do it.
Okay. All right, Director Matthews, do you have any recommendations other than just for me to reset this for you to schedule?
I would honestly love for Mr. Jones to be able to participate in accountability court. I think that Mr. Jones would thoroughly benefit from that. But when I discussed the case with Ms. Rich, she's concerned about your transportation.
Right.
Here,
And
I
so
can't find it.
we don't want to set him up to fail by not being able to get to the appointments.
I've been having to take care of my sister. She fell on her face a couple weeks ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I
Where do you live?
live in Griffin, but I've been staying with my sister in High Falls, and she's trying to sell a house. Last week, I bit down. I was eating ice cream, and I bit a staple, and almost ended up in the hospital, possibly.
That sounds terrible.
His sister also has a medical situation that's pretty severe that he's assisting with as well.
My sister has to get pumped out every week on her stomach. She has cirrhosis of the liver.
What if he went through just the entry process, just to see if Leslie could come up with something? I mean,
We have an alternate recommendation, but we do think that Mr. Jones, he showed significant progress while he's been on probation. He has really turned completely around from his evaluation with Mr. Jerry Daniel to what we're seeing right now.
and I agree completely that accountability court, if we could make that work, would be perfect for you.
My urine come out looked like water. I mean, I didn't do anything to it.
Sure. Well, and you can see, that's why I'm not talking about putting you in jail for,
I drink a lot of water and I drink a lot of
490.
coffee.
yeah, I'm not talking about putting you in jail for 490 days. I'm talking about trying to get you some help, or some additional help. Let's do this. Let's do it as a, I would like him to go apply and let Leslie evaluate. And technically, I'm resetting this, but in the meantime, I want you to go, it's in the same building. Sentence enforcement's in the basement, accountability court's on the top floor. So the building that you're in houses both places I want you to go talk to.
In this building?
No, their building, where you go meet with sentence enforcement.
Oh,
And so I'm technically gonna reset this to whatever date you
I
want.
did July 11th,
That's
Judge.
fine, July 11th.
I've been trying to do everything they tell me to do.
I know, we recognize that you're trying, which is why you're not in handcuffs.
I got the paper where I've been going to AA meetings.
That's all right, just breathe. So I'm moving this to July 11th, but I want you to hear me again say, the goal is not to put you in jail. The goal is to provide you with additional assistance.
Thank you very much.
But these dilutes are considered positives. But again, we're using this moment. I haven't decided if it's yet. I'm just telling you what the guidelines are that I have to follow.
I don't see how it could occur.
Well, I'm just telling you that what I want to do is see if I can get you plugged into our accountability court, because I think they would really help you out. And again, that's not punishment, that's assistance. It's not punishment, it's assistance. I'm just using this as the platform to move it on, okay?
I got a lot of things I'd like to say, but I'm choked up.
That's okay. We're gonna get you some help. So, all right, you need anything else from him right now?
Let me see if he's got a next report date.
I had thieves stealing out of my yard, and probably over 20-something years. And I saw them in the probation office, and I guess they did something about it.
Say that one more time, more slowly. You have what?
The thieves was in the probation office that were stealing out of my yard.
Thieves?
Thieves.
Thieves. Thieves. Got it.
Thieves. They're
Thieves.
stealing my materials, welding material, steel,
Yes.
about 3,000 pounds or more.
And have you reported that to law enforcement?
Yes, many times.
All right. I'm going to have you sign that reset there, acknowledging that I'm moving your case to July 11th. When next time you report,
Mr. Jones, come see us next Wednesday on the 26th.
Here?
No, sir, at the office. And we'll help get you to accountability court.
Probation office?
yes.
They're in the same building. You can go see them at the same time.
Yep. Go see Director Matthews next Wednesday. Okay? All right.
I also, my neighbor's brother broke in my house about 3 times.
You got a tough row, but let's see if we can help you out, okay? All right. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Go see Director Matthews next Wednesday, and let's see about getting you over into our
All
Veterans
right.
and Mental Health Court.
Go out that way, I'm gonna bring it to you. I get your pen.
All right. If you'll go way down the hallway there, Ms. Jones, don't leave till Ms. Yarborough clears you. All right. Who's the other one you're here on, Mr. Shepherd? Oh, the show cause.
Yes.
Heard.
Heard.
Heard, come on up. But she's already made it to non-report
That's
status.
correct, Judge.
Okay. All right, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, please state your full name for me.
Henrietta Hurd.
All right. Ms. Hurd, you're here today on what's called a show cause hearing. You're not in any trouble whatsoever. This is just a mandatory hearing that we're required to have, where I'm supposed to decide whether to leave your case as it is or to terminate it. And that's a mandatory hearing that I've been ordered to have on your case. You're here today. You're already in non-report status, and you have a pretty significant amount of time left. How old are your kids now? Let me do this differently. What grades are they in? I'm sorry, I asked the wrong question. I was about to get the wrong answer. What grades are they in?
4th, 5th, and 6th.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Does the state have a recommendation?
Judge, just because the nature of these charges, our position is we want these kids to be going to school. The way we have to enforce that, because again, to get to this point, it has to be pretty significant truancy issues to even get to state court. And again, our main concern is that these 3 kids attend school. And the best way that I know to ensure that is for Ms. Hurd to remain on probation. She's already a non-reporter, so she has very few obligations, but she also has a significant incentive to make sure these kids attend school. So we'd ask that she just remain on probation.
Okay. Ms. Hurd, do you have a preference on that? Are you okay just remaining on non-report probation? Or are you asking me to terminate your case?
I would like for my case to be terminated.
Okay. So the short answer is that I agree with Mr. Shepherd on this. And again, this is just I would never have this hearing other than the fact that I'm mandated to have it. In my position, the 1,271 days you have left are entirely appropriate and correct in this situation because you don't have to do anything. You're not reporting to probation. You're not paying supervision fees. All I'm getting out of this is that your kids are going to school the way they're supposed to. And so of course, if I was sitting in your seat or standing where you're standing, I, of course, would want it terminated as well. But from the court's perspective, that is not what's in this community's best interest. So your probation will continue only in that, you literally have one job, make your kids go to school. So, okay, so I'm going to put a little line here for her to sign. So have her just sign that to initial it, and then we'll give you a copy. So again, it's not worse, and it's just not better, but you're doing what you need to be doing. So all you got to do is what you're already doing, and you'll be fine. You'll never know I'm here. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Hurd.
Thank you.
All right. What else, Mr. Shepherd?
I think all I've got for that is.
Ms. Newman's case.
All right. And that's Mr. Malloy's. Okay.
Go ahead and do whatever you need to keep the line moving.
All right. Well, if you're okay, I'm going to just jump into the walk-ins.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start going through the walk-ins. These go at a pretty good clip. So, but it's going to follow exactly the pattern you've seen earlier, which is I call you up, place you under oath, ask you a couple basic questions. Director Matthews reads out the allegations plus the recommendation, and then I ask you, do you admit to the violations, and is the recommendation acceptable? If the answer is yes, I'll very likely adopt the recommendation as the order of the court. If the answer is no, we'll stop and dig in. Let's start with Esmond Baker. If you'll come up to the podium, please. Okay. Mr. Baker, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And I just have to put this on the record. We generally don't allow headwear in the courtroom. Is that for a specific
Spiritual.
religious
Yes.
purpose?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's all I need. We just had to put that on the record. All right, Mr. Baker, you're here today on 23 TK 3158 because your sentence enforcement supervisor has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, floor's yours.
Judge, on 23 TK 3158, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 2 of 9 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $557. The recommendation is for him to report as directed payments of $47 biweekly, to convert the fine to 59 hours at 8 hours per week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. His next report date would be next Wednesday, June 26th, between the hours of 1 and 5. Judge, but I would ask to defer this sentence until tomorrow at 4 p.m. to allow him to come into the office and pay $679 to close his case.
Okay, Mr. Baker, two questions. Number one, do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I agree. It gives you a chance to close it. If you're not close it, it gives you a second pathway to close it a different way. I think it's a good solution on all fronts, and I'm going to make it the order of the court. If you will please step back that way, out into the hallway, and wait for the bailiffs. Do not leave until they come see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. All right, Kenneth, no, Gloria and Barkley. And while she's coming up, I just realized that on the Holland case, I feel better because obviously I thought we had gotten our wires crossed somewhere, but we hadn't. Mr. Diamond just told his client not to come here. So I just want to say out loud that the reason we were confused is because Holland was supposed to be here. So just, I like that idea that we actually handled it right. So, all right, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah, I do.
All right, state your full name for me.
Gloriana Barkley.
All right, Miss Barkley, you're a little soft-spoken. Lean into that mic. It'll get loud. And you can move it, too. It'll move all around for you.
I'm a little tall.
So that's all right. I'm a little short. It works for both of us. All right, so you're here today on 23 TK 2929 because your probation officer has filed paperwork with the court alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You ready to go forward?
I am.
All right, floor's yours.
Judge, on 23 TK 2929, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $490.50 as of the date the petition was drafted. The recommendation on this case is for it to report to probation weekly in person until the case closes, payments of $50 a week, convert the court fine to 16 hours of community service to be completed at a rate of 8 hours per week, zero tolerance for the duration. The next report date would be in person, June 26th, between the hours of 1 and 5.
Okay, so two questions. Do you admit to the violation?
I do.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
Yes.
I agree. I think it's a good recommendation. It lets you, it gives you pathways to get your case closed. I'm going to make it the order of the court. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right. If you'll please step out in the hallway, don't leave until the bailiffs come see you. All right. I'm going to let you call your next ones.
Yes, Judge.
I just need you to remind me that. Kathy, if I start calling cases on probation mornings, you should stop me because I told Director Matthews she could call the cases to make certain that we're going at the speed she can handle.
Ronald Combs.
Because I only have to move one piece of paper. She has to move like thousands. All right, Mr. Combs, if you'll raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Ronald Combs.
All right, Mr. Combs, you're here on 21 SR 2280 because your sentence enforcement supervisor has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You ready to go forward?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Judge, on 21 SR 2280, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $350. The recommendation on this case is report to probation weekly until the case is in full compliance, payments of $45 weekly, convert the court fine to 25 hours of community service to be completed at a rate of 8 hours a week, zero tolerance for the duration of probation. The next report date would be in person on June 26th between the hours of 1 and 5.
All right, so two questions. Number one, do you admit to the violation?
I don't have community service. I already served all my community service.
I cannot hear a word you're
I already
saying.
did all my community service. I don't understand that.
The question on the table is whether if you get it on all fines in the Spalding County State Court, you may work off the fines instead of paying them with community service work. So that's what
you're
it
saying.
said.
Okay,
So that's what
you're
it's saying, is that you didn't pay it, but then you also didn't use community service work to get it caught up. So that's what's going on.
But how do I know what the rears is? When I pay it, it shows me
Well,
everything else I pay for. I didn't see anything that says the rears.
okay. Well, the short answer is when you report again on the 26th, you should ask your sentence enforcement supervisor that.
What can I ask now? How much fully?
No, the issue, no, we're not doing that right now. You can do that at your next report date. So the short answer is that I need to keep this moving. So the short answer is do you want you denied it. Do you want to continue denying, or do you want to admit to the violations? I don't have a preference. You just need to tell me what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're admitting to the violation?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the recommendation acceptable to you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Combs, I'm going to follow the recommendation. I'm going to make it when you report to your report date on the 26th, and you don't have to wait till the end. I guess you could drop by and ask if you wanted. So you could drop by their office and ask Mr. Combs if you wanted to know it ahead of time. So, I mean,
Does he want to delay the community service?
are you trying to pay it off and be done?
Yeah.
Okay, let's delay that but till his
2
next
weeks?
report date.
Is that okay?
Okay. I'm good with that. And that'll give you a little bit of time to sort it out before it becomes final.
Right.
Okay, I'm good then. So, and that is why she's the director and I'm just the judge. So, all right, Mr. Combs, if you will step out in the hallway, please wait for the bailiffs. Do not leave until they come out with your paperwork and have you sign it. I know. It never fails. Like if I didn't plan anything, we would have finished at 11 sharp. But if I ever want court to run long, all I gotta do is just plan something. Plan anything. I mean, we've all been in court for our whole careers. This is exactly how it always happens. You get 2 cases on the calendar and you're like, I'll be out by 10. Not a chance. Mm-hmm. 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 No, that's exactly right. All right. I've got this plea. What is this?
That's how she's a walking.
Let's just keep going. So we'll just
I
keep.
was trying to look at him to
Yeah.
see if I could.
Yeah, we can move it. All right, Painter, come on up.
Peter, come on up.
I think we're okay here. We just have the license issue, this one, and then the walk-ins. Okay. Please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Harley Jean Painter.
All right, and Ms. Painter, you are here today on 22 SR 1528. You were a previous bench warrant. You're a walk-in today to resolve your case. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Tell me your first name again.
Harley.
Harlie.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, great. So your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, Your Honor.
and to ask your attorney any questions you have about it,
Yes, Your Honor.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the job your attorney's done on your behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial
Yes, Your Honor.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate that there's a sufficient factual basis for me to accept this reckless conduct charge from February 12th of 2020 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that reckless conduct charge, Ms. Painter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, or with your request to enter the guilty plea combined with your attorney's stipulation as the factual basis, that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Mr. Malloy, anything for a sentence?
Yes, Your Honor, just for the record purposes and for the court's information, this case began actually as a felony. It was up in Superior Court. I think there was some charges of cruelty to children